10 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining.
Welcome back, everybody. Here's your coverage of the Dota 2 Champions League. I am Toby1, your caster for tonight's game, as well as tomorrow's game, so you can come back tomorrow night and join me for more Dota 2 action, as we're going into game number 2 of our best of 3 between NLG Gaming, as well as Team Empire. Team Empire getting thrashed by NLG in last night's game, but tonight's game, they're looking a hell of a lot better with some good laning coming out from them, even if the lanes and the drafts looked a little bit the opposite direction. Either way, we are into our draft. I say we, not the royal we, because really, Rio and I aren't married, but instead, we have this relationship of Dota that we share together. Hi, Rio.
Is that all we share together?
That is all we share together.
Oh, okay.
It's the nothing sus broadcast.
See how it is.
5 seconds
This is
God,
not
dude,
even custom games.
Everyone's got to get used to being rejected at some point. We share Dota, is that not enough?
No, I'm just the rejection. Alright, I got that. I got it.
Dude.
Could be a movie.
Like, I just... What? The Rejection. Starring Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. The Rejection.
With Shaquille O'Neal. It.
Shaquille O'Neal, man, he'll have a panel show that will discuss the entire thing.
He would.
He'd be perfect for it. I love it. I love it. Let's make it a thing. All right. Now all we're gonna do is just find out how we contact Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, as well as Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's done movies before. Come on, he worked with Bugs Bunny. I'm the same level as Bugs Bunny. He should contact me.
Trying to think of what Shaq was in besides Saw. He was only in Saw.
Wait, Shaq?
Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal was in Saw.
Okay, so Shaq was in Saw. Michael Jordan was in what was that movie with the Warner Brothers guys? Space Jam.
Yes.
Space Jam. I don't think Kobe Bryant have been in anything apart from adverts.
Yeah.
Kind of it. Alright! Meanwhile, back at Dota 2, NLG Gaming, they'll be on the dire side for this game. As they ban out the Lich. No more lane control. At the same time, he didn't really have the same effect I was thinking he would. And Team Empire go with, again, Nature's Prophet as well as Tusker.
Yeah, if it's not broke, fix it. Or don't.
It is broke, so keep playing it.
Yeah, don't change it.
It's the gold black way.
I love seeing Night Stalkers nowadays. Normally the hero's been fell off for a long time, and I just like to see it pop up here and there. It's kind of like the Beastmaster effect, where you just try and either take away vision or give vision. Time they're going to be trying to take it away with Night Stalker here, and we saw it. Yeah, we saw it last patch where Zeus. I think it was Zeus and Slark were mainly the vision controllers, but I think nowadays it's coming down to, with all the nerfs, the bounty hunters and stuff, we're seeing a lot more Night Stalkers, Beastmasters, and Furion to some extent does a lot of that too. So
you're actually giving me glimpses, like when you say stuff like Zeus, after we had like the AA game as well with Nature's Prophet.
Oh, that's the dream, man.
You just remember Team Global. So if you haven't done this, everyone who is tuning in.
It sucks against BKBs. Don't listen to Toby, guys. It sucks versus BKB heroes.
Yes, it does suck versus BKB heroes. At the same time, think of it this way. In the age of the Octarine core, everything
you just gotta wait out the BKBs.
Everything is so dead low cooldown. You could get away with running an Ice Blast, Nature's Prophet, Wrath of Nature, with a Zeus ulti to give the vision for it all. You just need like a Bounty or an Nyx Assassin to set you up. And then you get maybe a Spectre ulti. Like, that's the other way you could do it. And you have what is classed as Team Global with a catcher. And that is how you win at all games and piss off everyone you play against.
Yeah, I like it even more so because It actually is more annoying than playing against a techies to some extent. Like Tusk techies probably
Well, tickets you
has
can
to
do
be one of-
something about. Like you can walk
Yeah.
around with a gem and get rid of his mines, but you can
but
never
Zeus
stop
is
Team
decent.
Global. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you
Like,
can't.
I will stop Thunder. I'm sorry, no.
We're coming up with the new meta. I agree with
It's
you.
not the new
I'm
meta.
down.
It was the meta from 4 years ago. It was actually legit then too.
It was like Dota, like
You know, that-
towards the end of Dota 1.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I think you're right, because I'm thinking like 3 years ago, like, no, it was actually later than that. It was like 2008, 2009
Yeah.
was when Team Global happened, because you also were running, oh god, what was it? When you had the old Visage. So you had Remnants, not Familiars.
You would do
It ended up being, like, because you needed something which would deny all runes, and you go for pure map control, while having these flash farmers and nukers.
all I remember now is just like stupid liches and Visage. Every game was Visage and Pro Dota back then.
Of course it was. You
So
had, I think it was 8 ghouls. Actually no, the ghouls belonged to Weaver. The remnants belonged to Visage. But they were basically these flying shadow rats that would move all across the map. They were so difficult to target. And they would walk up, like, just be sitting in cliffs around the runes. The runes would spawn. If you weren't going for it, you just deny it every time. So there was actually never any action runes. So you can imagine a game where there was no double damages or invises or anything like that, haste runes. Like, they just didn't exist because they were denied every single time. That was the matter of 2008, 2009.
Want to go back to the days of no bounty runes, see what happens. Old days.
You know, I actually really like that change. Like, initially I was like, oh, bounty runes? What is this? Runes on both sides? Bottle so OP! I was like, well, actually, all it did was stop this never-ending bottle ferrying of
Body
couriers
throwing,
and stuff.
yeah, that was.
It's like, so you just took away what made Pinoy Dota. But it's actually terrific because it makes for more action-packed games, which was always the quest. It was always the quest with Dota, was to make the games more action-packed. Thank you, Excalibur. Make the games more action-packed, more like with less downtime between the fights. So it always keeps going. Like, you take a fight, you get a push, you come back and take another fight, then you go for another push. That was always the play. It was always the dream,
objectives.
and we're getting closer and closer to that.
I like it. I like it a lot. I do not wish for the bottle crowing to ever come back. Yeah, I mean, it's here a little bit, but not as bad as it was.
It doesn't need to exist anymore because it just comes down to rune control, which then also forces fights, which is great. Okay, let's talk about draft, because we've talked about like the difference in the metas and everything else. No Logic Gaming, they've got like, okay, they have a meepo. Basically means they win it or split push.
Yeah, that's one of the best counters to Nature's Prophet, for sure. You
But
can
then again, is it? Like, it counters as push, but Nature's Prophet gets stronger by having the meepo there.
but if you have the Blink Dagger with Meepo, and then you just poof on Nature's Prophet, he's dead.
Oh yeah.
Even if it just counters the hero, it's kind of like having a Storm Spirit, and Meepo will. Well, they're just countering with encounters, and there's that counter. Okay, so you have the Earthshaker counter for the Meepo, which is great all around. I think it's way better than having, like Sand King or something. You just get that instant Echo Slam burst damage.
Yep.
And then you got a Dazzle now, potentially saving out some of the big heroes in these team fights. But the problem with Dazzle is you don't have AoE Shallow Grave.
Yeah, actually, how does that even work? Like, because if one Meepo dies, the rest of them die. But if you Shallow Grave the primary Meepo,
you just have to Shallow Grave whichever one gets the lowest first.
Okay, so it actually doesn't matter. So Shallow Grave doesn't protect like Meepo from like them all killing over if one of them like has Shallow Grave. Like if the primary one had Shallow Grave on it, and they'll be like, okay, well I won't die even if all my other Meepos are dying around me, because that would be completely imbalanced about it. The Shallow Grave actually doesn't work for Meepo. I'm sorry.
Did your Dota crash? I got disconnected.
No, I'm all good, man.
Reset time.
I'm all good. I didn't jinx myself. I gave Reborn praise. See, that's what you gotta do. You gotta love Reborn. It's like a car. Like, you just gotta give it a little bit of tender kissing.
I just let all the birds poop on it. That's just what you do.
Man, you'd be one of those guys that would park your car next to a beach and never actually think that there is something wrong with doing so.
I have it all moldy and put it out there.
It's called corrosion. When you put it next to a beach. Like, if you're like, yeah, it's gonna get moldy next to a beach, it's like, no. Like, that's salt, man. What are you expecting? Your car will literally fall apart. Mold will at least hold it together in a way.
It'll be an antique, you know? You get more price for the antiques, right? Is that how it works?
No. You know, I was actually reading something like, you want antiques, you'd appreciate this coming from Yankland.
See, I'm not the only one who DC'd.
Yeah, you came back in again. We had a pause with Silent DCing out. Yeah, but old New York subway cars, like train cars, are being dumped in as reefs. So you can put them in the ocean, and they become reefs and become like habitats to make like coral reefs. Like they actually make reefs with your old train cars. So it like decomposes into mixing them. And they don't really decompose, but they turn into like you've seen like those old shipwrecks. Like everyone's watched Titanic. Oh yeah. After it sank. Where you see all of this like coral and marine life just grow all over it. It's like that's what it's at. Pretty good. Yeah, and it also obviously affects the way the water currents move, and you can actually prevent heavy waves by like reefs. Or you could cause a whirlpool, like what's happening in the drawing. And now, who's drawing that? Shadow Priest, so that's Milan. Is it? Yeah. It's a snake. I'm sorry if I feel like partially colorblind, but I don't identify the difference in the colors when they put them on. When you draw it. I think they changed it where in Dota it used to be gray, now it's like tan. So I will always call it gray though. It's kind of like the Windrunner thing. Maybe eventually one day I'll start calling it tan or whatever. But dude, I don't understand why people use colors. Like it was kind of more important in Warcraft 3 because the colors were actually on the heroes themselves. So there was some level of like this, mostly in the custom games. But your hero actually like lit up as a certain color because all of the clothing which you had on the hero would change to be whatever color you're assigned to. It's like your win range, it could be blue, red, yellow, green, whatever. But in Dota, we got cosmetics. But you don't get that in Dota 2. Yeah, we got wonderful items taking away all my colors. Yes. Yeah, no, I like the So it doesn't make as much sense to say, "Yo, Blue, like respond to me." I'm like, I have a name. Like what is? It's like you think that was always fun back in the day. Oh, so stupid, man. So stupid. It's like, okay, you could call me AM, Anti-Mage. You could call me Toby. I have different names which are visible right in front of your eyes, as opposed to the most stupidest thing in the world. I'm going to call you by a color, which is a very small bar at the top of your screen, which very few people look at these days because it has no future impact anywhere else inside the game. You have a dot next to your name when you bring up the menu, and that's all. He confirms hates colors. Colorblind, everything. Just a hater. You know when everyone out there said, "Oh, can you use colorblind mode only?" And I'm like, you know what? I'm actually okay with this. And then everyone got completely pissed off because, like, I don't understand what colors are above things now. And like, oh god, you just cannot accept change. I couldn't accept it either, really. When I was watching it as well, I watched it for 2 games, or I forget when it was. Was that during TI4 or something? I don't know. They did it for an experimental period. It was during the TI4 qualifiers. Yeah, that kind of gave me OCD. I'm not gonna lie. Just me personally. There was a lot of debate about it then, because everyone's just like, man, like cater for the colorblind. It's like cater for vegetarians. There's the answer to that. Eat meat. I mean, you like plants, so you have to hate animals. So you got to kill the animals and eat them. Is that how it works? I guess I look after plants.
Plants have feelings too, you know.
I cry every day that my celery goes rotten.
Oh, I wouldn't cry at all. I'm not a
Greatest
fan
snack
of
food, by the
celery.
way. For all those people out there too, because I know the chat loves doing it every time I come on camera. When they're like, oh, Toby's put on so much weight since TI1. And I'm just like, yeah. Because I weighed like 70 kilograms. I was so thin during TI1. It was amazing. Yeah, I put on a lot of weight instead. But celery is the greatest snack because it actually takes more from your body. Your body actually works harder to eat and process celery then you actually get nutrients from it. So it's a workout food in a way.
You know, to be fair, if you weren't living in Germany and you were living in America, you'd probably weigh like 140. So that's a good thing.
It is so possible, man. Like it is so possible.
That's the one thing about Europe. I like how most of the stuff is kind of healthy. I want to say not everything.
Like a lot of Germany lives like on durum and Dona, which is not terrific. Like let's have processed meat, but you still get like fairly fresh vegetables. Fresh fruit with it, fresh vegetable, which isn't too bad. Gotta stay away from all the bread. Germany, everyone, especially in Berlin, like there's bread with everything, and bread is the enemy.
I like bread. I'm a fan of bread. I would like to have peanut butter and jelly, take some ham and cheese, some bologna. Dude,
I love bread. I've actually found, and this is actually okay. So we've got time, so we're doing story time, everyone. So enjoy your story time. But I've actually found out recently that I am actually very intolerant to bread.
Like you have gas buildup or lactose. Okay.
Yes.
You just figured that out.
Yes.
And so you should have Chipotle every day.
Really sad because like. I really, really, really enjoy having like peanut butter and honey on bread. It crushes my soul, and every time I eat it, I'm like, I'm gonna regret this, and I regret it every time.
Did you try like wheat and different kinds of bread, or did you try?
I tried multiple types of bread.
Is it grains? Like, have you tried eating rice? Does that or?
If you mean like those rice cakes, I would rather cut my eyes out.
No, I mean like
spoon.
I mean like in Korea or somewhere in Asia.
Oh no, rice is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
What about tortillas?
They're okay, but yeah, it's the puffy bread. Anything with like I can't do puffy bread. Yeah, but I'm actually I'm changing my lifestyle to get more healthier. It's Kit Kat celery does not taste like garbage. I love celery. I actually really enjoy the taste of celery.
Kit Kat garbage. I said that too.
You said it tastes like garbage?
Yeah, I told.
No.
See, Toby doesn't even listen to me, guys.
I'm sorry. What'd you say, Rhea?
Nice try.
Better than them. Oh, it tastes nice.
I mean, I put it on. I have to put so much peanut butter on it that I still taste the celery too.
Oh God! How do we balance our lives? Well, I want to get really fit and healthy, so I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm gonna eat celery. Well, I hate the taste of it, so I'm gonna put like some of the most unhealthiest crap ever, aka peanut butter. It doses, yeah, but how many times has anyone ever said to you, eating butter is going to be a healthy course to your life?
Peanut butter isn't all that much butter. It's actually really good for you.
Dude, it's so much butter.
Nah, I don't agree
with that. It's like people who think there's no sugar in jam.
Alright, chat will decide this for us. Is peanut butter healthy or not? Alright, go chat.
No, because Twitch chat will definitely, like, half the people out there right now who are in Twitch chat will be like, I'm eating peanut butter right now. Peanut butter is healthy, alright? It's all, yeah. Thing, man. That's the thing. Let's look at the bigger thing. That's the game, which is now resumed. We're back in the world of the playing. And we have our fun little battle between Excalibur and Yoku. It is going to be the Earthshaker mid up against the Meepo mid. So battle on battle. Pushed his Aloha dance into the support role Wind Ranger. as Silent Farms is the anti-mage. A very difficult lane for both of them, as it is 2 melee, yes, but it's Iron Shell melee, which makes life even harder for this, what has now become defensive tri-lane with no fear arriving. And then Resolution plays the off-lane Nature's Prophet. A fun lane for him. He can keep that Dazzle pretty... Oh, okay, failed denial. But he can keep that Dazzle pretty much zoned out with Treants alone. So, Red should have a pretty good time on the top lane. And I'm wondering if he goes for the old school build, which is to have phase boots very early on. I know Bone7 was a big fan of this. Going early phase boots on the Nature's Prophet, and you physically damage out the burst damage hero in the lane. So he just can't initiate anymore. Yoku, Excalibur, no.
Oh yeah, Milan was coming over. I like your idea. Phase boost isn't too bad. You're already gonna get a lot of the tank ability from. Oh my goodness, Excalibur's. He's got a stealth, so it's fine. Even taking all that damage, but like you said, phase boots is one of the most amazing items to get early game when you're pressuring out other teams, just because it gives you so much damage. Also, once he gets the Basil, he can always push the lane. So when you push the lane, you're forcing the enemy to see us under the tower too, and then you can harass a lot easier too. So that also helps in the situation.
This sustains. Gold remains.
I like this from Resolution. It's the lane throttle. I really want to see how much space he can get here. Iron Shell, however, is being a real nuisance for Silent. He's gonna get more, he's gonna have to like buy the ring before he buys anything else on this bot lane. It's because he has to burn through too many consumables in the lane.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Normally you will see, Stout Shield being picked up into a poor man's shield, but like you said, they might go for the bomb middle. They could.
They don't have any
net.
net.
Oh yeah, I think go net.
Yeah, it's 2-point poof.
Every time I think of poof, I have to think of Fairly Odd Parents. Like, just can't get it out of my head.
I'm sorry, did you say Fairly Odd Parents?
Yeah.
Why Fairly Odd Parents?
Because their child is... Oh, okay. The child is named Poof. Because of Wanda and Cosmo. There you go. You get your Nickelodeon for the week.
I'm sorry, I obviously don't watch enough Nickelodeon.
You're just a hater.
No, I just don't know who Wanda and Cosmo are. When you say Wanda, I think of the fish called.
Wait, what is? Oh, actually, I don't even know that reference. Alright, we're done.
Holy crap. We are from two very different eras. Two very, very different eras. Okay.
You're just gonna have to explain everything to me. You're gonna have to be like my dad, Toby.
Look up a fish called Wanda.
It'd be sad if I actually knew it too. Like if I look it up and I'm like, oh, it's that. Because I'm actually really bad with names.
Do you know Tom Hanks?
Yes, I know Tom Hanks. I like all these movies.
Tom Hanks was it was one of his only movies, A Fish Called Wanda. Very, very famous and iconic movie. Oh yeah, history, damn it!
I'm just a castaway.
just cast a hashtag. I invented that. One of the greatest things I ever thought of. Stuck is having a run for the courier. The courier's got no movement speed. Donkeys! I can't see it! He didn't see it! Night time, it's a pain. But Yoku with first blood. The silence will be there. He can't get him out of this one. Protection snowball! And he'll go in. Maybe Yoku. Shallow Grave will come up, ensuring that Night Stalker will remain alive. But no fear saving grace will probably end up with NLG finding a double kill under this tower. Where is that Earthbind available? Not really there. It is actually for one of the Meepos, but they're going in very deep. The Poops are coming in, and a secondary silence over on the Tuskar ensures the kill. Meanwhile, Resolution taking out top tower.
This is just one of the matchups where Queen of Pain does not win. Like, you have constant harassment from the Treants as well as the ring, as well as the TP as well.
He just
Resolution?
Yeah, there's help coming. He's just got TP out. And Night Stalker, time! Silence is the key in silence, and Resolution is out.
Nice. Go.
Wow, he actually started with Void and interrupted, but he didn't go for the crippling fear. Like that was a 5-second silence.
He could have just used his TP scroll then, and then he would have probably gotten out.
True.
because then they wouldn't have enough damage from the Void. All things considered, just that one gank mid, it's a good timing too. Night Stalker just rotating in, getting that kill. He's up to level 4 now. 2 kills at first night. Not too bad.
He's going to get more too. If you look towards the Dire jungle, they're heavily stacking this. If this Meepo starts to flash farm here, he's going to be up at probably like level 9 before, like level 10 in like the next 1-2 minutes. And then they give the space to Dazzle in the mid. This should actually start flagging big warning bells for Team Empire. This is going on. With Empire, like, NLG's getting very aggressive on the bottom lane. This will take away their attention. Silent wants to keep this Night Stalker back, but what's he gonna do? Like, he had to go for the... Okay, that's what you can do. You can get your shackle off, but then the snowball, it'll also arrive with it. Volty arriving as well from Resolution. They blink forward. Mid's that level 2 surge will give him a lot of space to work with. There's no mana for shards. There's also shards on cooldown. The Sigil won't catch up to Mitch in time. Night Stalker dies in the bottom lane. But this for me is all like smoke and mirrors. Excalibur is still flash farming up in the jungle as a Meepo. This is problematic more than anything else.
Yeah, I think though they're kind of good in a sense because Earthshaker is a really good counter, but like you're saying, by time Earthshaker has the Blink Dagger, then maybe Meepo will have an Axe, which is, you know, it's kind of like the same case as last game as we saw where the Alchemist got so much early on just because that's how he flash farms, and we saw Empire just transition a lot better in the early game. So we'll have to see if that holds true this game too.
The timing of the power of NLG. They have the power, but can they use it for good? Obviously, Garda can't use anything for good. He's got a Sonic Wave and a level 3 Scream. This guy went for no lane presence at all. Not leveling up Shadow Strike, and they're coming into the mid. They're trying to gank up on Yoku once again. Now, he's got 1 death to his name. They do get the silence off, and then TP is arriving from the Tuskar. He wants to try and snowball protect, ends up cancelling his TP quite wisely. Garda commits Sonic Wave for that kill. They brought the Meepo in for it.
Tower is under attack.
It's hard to say this, but it's like you kill off the mid solo. That can't be a bad thing. But he's still out networking everyone in NLG apart from the Meepo, and Resolution's still finding farm. The enemy is still finding farm. I just don't know if this is enough from NLG.
They had to do with, it's like all they could really do for that first night, right? They can't really kill the anti-mage. They couldn't really pressure top with Resolution just because he was going around yanking and he was not really showing or making himself being picked off. They missed the gank on him once already, and like this is the only pressure they can go. But Queen of Pain's ulti is down, and this is where a lull is right now. So they just wait for it to come back up, and then they can put another pressure on the map.
I could see it.
I mean, you also have to think about the supports from Empire too, because No Fear, he's not really doing well on levels right now, and Aloha Dance, he needs levels too. Like he has 2 in Shackle Shot, sure, but with the Windrunner, you always need to get your levels up fast.
Kind of like the big downside about the Wind Ranger as a support. You just can't always justify giving her the space. Maybe once the Animage has the Battle Fury as well as a Vlad's.
She has 29 denies. Are you kidding me right now?
Wait, really?
Holy shiznitch.
Okay, that's one way to throttle the offlane. No.
Oh my goodness.
It's actually quite terrific.
That's
0
amazing.
for 29. What is this?
I was like, that can't be right. I was like looking at her last hits because I was looking at her salve or something, and I was like, 0 for wait, what?
It's honestly like he's either denying up, like, what, you get deny up Nature's Prophet trees or something? Like, or spiders? Like, I could understand it, but when you're 10 minutes in and you've denied 29 CS the Darkseer, and the Darkseer is sitting at 23 CS at the moment. That should be so much higher.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness. And they had a Night Stalker down there too. It's just, it's really easy to last hit with Wind Ranger too. And I think he's started off with a no toss one. I'm not exactly sure, but he probably had quite a bit of damage early on.
They're coming top. I don't know if they smoke underneath that Dire Observer ward that's in the mid lane, but Garda should be feeling that something is wrong. So they start with Fissure, and they'll end with Fissure.
Aloha Dance, just was kind of in position. Maybe Yoku went a little bit too soon. Didn't say he was stunning there.
I probably assumed that Garda was going to be like, yeah, Aloha Dance would just like get that shackle on Garda, but it doesn't happen. They committed Wrath of Nature for this. Resolution threw that ulti out. He was looking for that bonus damage into the quap. But that was meant to be a serious attempt at a kill, not just a, well, we'll prep him for later.
Yeah, because that was the only way they got the kill on Night Stalker too. Else he would have gotten away with Surge, and he still would have been able to live.
That still results in the same kind of goal for Empire. Not the perfect goal because the tower does get denied, but they've taken out that top tower. Silent needs to get himself back ASAP, and he knows it. That Observer Ward, which is still sitting in the lane, scouted the movement of Garda down to the bottom. So he just blinks himself out, starts munching on the tangos. The Perseverance will take care of the rest.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The Empire definitely needs to bring more support to this bottom lane.
Yeah, it's almost nighttime now too. This is when it's gonna be kind of like make or break for Empire. It seems. Sure, they have the better late game with the same age, but this is when Meepo and Night Stalker are gonna take over the map if they're not careful.
Silent, timing, off.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Bottom tower will not be denied. Garda will take the whole thing. Alright, so Spartan, where do you move? You're letting him farm up on the middle lane at the moment, but this is nighttime. Nighttime ain't farming time. Even if the first time the Night Stalker changed... Actually, you remember when the nighttime was changed? Like, it used to be 6 minutes. Was the daytime and nighttime cycle. And then it became 4. And all these Night Stalker players had no idea what they're meant to do with the first nighttime. Because you'd always, like, have that set timing on items, which would require, like, 8 minutes on the clock. Before you can actually do something. And
yeah, for sure.
Then it just... Okay, Yoku's gonna get this kill. Echo Slam... Shackle, power shot, bum 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 bum. Quite asshole. Yeah, but then we hit this like when the change came, Night Stalkers then spent the first nighttime phase just farming and only farming, and the second nighttime phase, which was obviously the 12 to 16 minute mark. Okay, that's a good Sonic Wave. Yoku, he survives through this. Nice for him. Yeah, but then the next nighttime phase was the hunting time. When he had enough farm, when he had his urn, when he had his treads, when he had his levels.
It's just, yeah, with the new daytime, as you're saying, you don't have enough, or the new nighttime cycle, you don't have enough items, and you do not have enough levels at all to really make plays, but they still did manage to get 2 kills in the game early on, so it's not terribly bad. Getting, like, I would say 2 kills, and because, like you said, to the nerf, to the early game, for 4 minutes, it's really good.
Man, Excalibur's gonna have a great time now. A 13-minute Aghanim Scepter. Like,
that sentry's just out of range.
He also doesn't see the Night Stalker. He's just hovering in the tree line. And if Tusk...
Oh, no, wait. Does he see it? Does he see it? This Sigil? Oh, no.
Alright, that just freezes him. Alright, so No Fear's gonna move himself into the mid. A couple of trees to push it out. Garda can take care of those. And now, well, okay. So No Fear threw down the Observe Ward right in front of Spartan. So now Night Stalker understands the fact that he can't just run himself up, but middle lane, they jump in from Yoku. They do have the extra control over on Garda. Their snowball arriving just in the nick of time before the blink can be used by the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, it's an awkward game to kind of be...
Oh, what a TP! Whoa. Resolution. Maybe a little bit too quick on that Wrath of Nature, but the damage will still be enough. It'll be the Tusk gonna take the kill with the shards. Resolution started that Wrath of Nature on the Night Stalker. And
what
no
a timely DD rune. Timely DD rune for Excalibur, taking out the easy Roche there.
He's still gonna lose that tier 1 tower in mid. Okay, maybe he won't because Yoku doesn't have his Echo Slam up. He'll blink himself away to safety. And there's no mana on No Fear. Yeah, they'll actually have to back themselves out of this one. I thought they were more prepared for the fight.
We haven't even mentioned Silent in like the last 8 minutes. He's just steadily farming away here. He's got his battles.
We'll check back with it. Okay, yeah, he's not realizing that camp is warded. It's actually a really good ward. Not only just vision, but the fact that that camp does not start up, and you can actually see Empire. It's just like, I planted this sentry ward. What more do you want? And they're actually blaming, I think, the sentry ward that it blocks up the camp.
They are.
But
which is not.
Okay. That debate should not be happening at the moment. Top lane, Resolution's in a little bit of trouble, and there is Sonic Wave, but Echo Slam from Yoku arrives at the perfect time. Mid just getting completely pounded. Excalibur's lost 2 of his teammates, and now in comes Snowsphere. He's got to keep these Meepos alive, but the War has punched up that one little Meepo on the side. The Aegis, the Immortal will burn. The Earthshaker may have dropped for this, but you've still taken 2 kills, and of course, burning that Aegis, the Immortal. The Wrath of Nature will bounce through the Meepos. The Earthbind's missing 1, does hit on the second one, and Resolution just sprouts himself, triggers the 1 charges, wants to TP himself out this one, and will start the shards, block him in, and there goes your last little Earthbind. Resolution, the boost will kill him off. Excalibur will find that kill on the top lane.
I was kind of curious to see why they were kind of staying around after they already got the Aegis. They didn't have an Echo, they didn't have a TP in from Silent, he was just off split pushing.
Maybe they thought Resolution just couldn't run himself away in time.
I think he could. Well, the only problem is when the Meepo gets the Blink Dagger, then Anti-Mage is kind of food, Furion's food, and that was an amazing
He has the blink.
This...
Yeah, so. He has the blink and another 1.1k gold. So AM just survive. I still love the TP mechanisms though. The fact that like once you got Earthbind on you, you can actually TP out because you can't be stunned up again by another Earthbind. So you should be able to complete your TP.
Is that? I thought you can TP out, but if they cast another new Earthbind, then it cancels it still.
I don't believe so. This is actually something we discovered at ESL because everyone was wondering like what was happening with Artur. When he TP'd out, I was like, well, why didn't you just stun him again? And like the answer was that. I might be wrong because
that's how it worked in Reborn. I mean, not before Reborn. Yeah. I am 90% sure about that. If that's how it changed now, then that's a good buff to maybe counter Meepo, where you have to save the net. Then it's kind of like having the the Bloodseeker Rupture, where you have to save it.
I actually kind of now want to double check it because it was only something which we talked about in the side, saying this was the reason why it happened. I never really questioned the exact mechanic of it. So yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen Meepo's. I haven't seen it yet, and so I can't confirm it. And I'm not a Meepo player myself, so I cannot confirm or deny.
Let's keep our eyes open for seeing how it works in Reborn because I'm fairly certain we're going to get another opportunity like that. Goodbye, Dazzle. Goodbye, Animage.
Yep.
So many Meepos into a heal bomb. And this is at the same time, because I was watching Empire come for this smoke gang. They really want to kill off the mid. Take that tower. The Snowball is coming after Darkseer. He knows there's no point to surge himself away. And they just focus all the damage they possibly can at the very start. The Shackle latching on to the Dazzle, but Tusker needs to wait out his own shard time to run away. The Sigil will make this a little bit more difficult for the days of NLG, but that is why you have Sonic Wave. The easy burst damage to ensure the kill over on the Tusker. The enemy still hasn't respawned himself up, but Resolution pushes himself on top lane.
They still have Echoes too. They kind of still need to be careful here.
They have Echo Slam and Wrath of Nature. Like Blink Ball, there's your Echo Slam and Power Shot. Wrath of Nature was also triggered at this time, but it never even reached the mid before Queen of Pain was dead.
You just got to be a little bit careful there. They always do have that Echo Slam available, and we've seen it this game. Yoku is not afraid just to pop it on Queen of Pain now. I think it was the 3rd time? Yeah, this is the 3rd time he got echoed in the face, so really well played. Maybe you're not shutting down the Meepo, and he's 3-0-3, but still you're killing everyone else. And the biggest thing is trying to get Silent some space here, which can Manta out of net, but the biggest thing is still going to be he still needs to have a BKB if he wants to man fight. And even then, he still will take a ton of damage. So Anti-Mage is going to have to be looking to have like a really good mana void, maybe on the Darkseer or onto the Queen of Pain.
Bottom lane. Real trouble for Yoku. He can't do anything. There was no Echo Slam. Resolution comes in to ensure the kill over on the Dazzle. And, okay. The support came in from behind. I don't know if you saw what happened with the nets there, but he couldn't do it. And there goes your Tusker. Triple kill for Excalibur. Very easy Meepo game for him.
So we confirmed that the doesn't cancel?
I believe so.
Or it does?
Well, he didn't throw out another one.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah,
is under
that's just very unfortunate getting picked off down there now. Oh, top. Ooh.
I don't know if Earthbind's going to be off target. Excalibur's on his way forward. I've started a mechanic debate war inside the chat. I apologize.
Oh, that's good. Get the audience involved. That's how you play to the people. That's how you get them to love you.
Really?
or hate
the path
you.
to love is to force arguments? That explains why my parents got on so well. Shackle over on the top lane. Excalibur's in a lot of trouble. He brings in his meepos, but damage is already done. 74 seconds on the sideline unless he wants to buy back. And he'll lose his tier 2 tower on the top lane if he does not. The bottom lane is pushing in, but tier 3 tower can handle it.
is under attack.
And Spartan's inching forward. It is 10 PM at night, Dota 2 time. So he's ready to fight. The observer, however, is nice and deep from Empire. So they see everyone moving forward apart from Garda because he's inside that invis rune. But they snowball forward and catching out Spartan Resolution. TPs himself forward to get that Orchid on the Night Stalker. And the Shallow Grave will buy him the space, but Spartan on the run, son. If he needs to, he'll mana void this down. The Fissure is there. They need to reach him. The Meg charge from the Darkseer gives him its life back, and Empire finish the job you came here for, that top tower. Or else NLG have just wasted a lot of Empire's time.
That's just something that should not happen there. He shouldn't have gotten away, but maybe they could have even transitioned that to a mid tower, but with Meepo now coming up online and them not getting that kill, they're just gonna have to back off here. But as I say that, who has a haste and his ulti's off cooldown. So, and also notice that he's going for the Yules, which is a great counter to have against the Meepo net, where you can Yules yourself up in the air, and then potentially you can still stun lock the Meepo where you can blink away. So this is a really good understanding.
Resolution. If he can get away with this, he can with the Orchid hit at the start, and then follow a Sprout. They're not close enough. The Fissure and the Power Shot were trying to connect on the Dazzle, but he got to heal off in time. Excalibur, well, he's trying to come over to help out his teammates. There's your Echo Slam, the Night Stalker. Sonic Wave will fly out, but the damage is done. And not to mention, with the Shards and the Sprout, okay, Resolution's locked in here. He's Orchid up, there's no TPing out of this one. And Meepo Excalibur's all over it. As they just profit down for a good 48 seconds. The Night Stalker will join him. And he did also burn his darkness for that.
I think it was worth it in the end. Sort of kind of baiting the team around, but they're still not shutting down Silent enough for my liking. He almost has his Manta now, and the Queen of Pain going for this Orchid is just going to be completely useless now, I feel. Maybe it could help shut down, but with Yules going to be online soon for ES, it's not going to do too much to the cores of Empire against them.
Okay, I actually have the official writing here. We can put this argument to rest. Successive casts of Earthbind do not replace the debuff on affected targets, they just refresh it. Refreshing the Earthbind debuff does not cancel channeling spells again. This is the official word from the Book of Dota 2.
Yeah, that's actually on there too if you read it. Earthbind prevents... Oh no. Do you have the alt click? Does not work on spelling. No. But yeah, okay, so yeah, you have to save that net if you really want to cancel or to hold somebody's TP.
Yep.
Which that's a pretty good... Yeah, like I said, it's kind of like the Bloodseeker thing where sure you can caps Rupture, but you can just TP away, and that's pretty cool. It's unique, and it's just another nerf to Meepo. We already saw him get nerfed with the ultimate. We saw how he was dead for 70 seconds just now at level when he was 19, but also Aloha Dance. I thought he was going to go out there too.
They feel something is there, they just don't see it. And there's no reason for Empire to force themselves into these fights. Because Empire are in the great position. Like, they have a bit of a problem, which is Roshan. Excalibur is about to completely mop the floor with this guy.
Wow, he got... Did you see what his next item?
Excalibur?
Yeah.
E-Blade. Oh, he's not going a Dagon, is he? Like, was he
Maybe.
what's he trying to stop?
I think he's just trying to deal as much damage as possible to a hero with his poofs, but I don't see how Sheep is not better in the situation where you can just permanently hex somebody. As we said, duels on Earthshaker will easily take away the F. And then the Manta style, takes away your nets. So this is...
Does it even really work? Because this isn't really like the greatest stat item either. You're still walking around with Meepos with 2k life on them when you're going up against things like Echo Slam, like Power Shots, Mana Voids, Wrath of Natures. Like, all these things being combined together is going to inflict a heavy amount of damage onto your Meepos. Okay, he tries to go for Yoku. Misses on it. There goes your Fissure. Cancels the second Earthbind because that range is ridiculous, so... He would have been able to reach Yoku if he didn't blink away to safety. But Yoku's actually doing the great job too. He goes for a Yule Scepter build with this Blink Dagger.
Dire's bottom tower
Makes this Earthshake. If he gets a 4-staff as well, NLG will have a very hard time locking down this ES.
Yeah. I wouldn't even mind seeing him go for a Lincoln's or some other tanky item. Maybe a BKB too. Like, that's not too bad in this game where the enemy team has, you know, a lot of silences still. Sure, you can use your Yules, but if you get silenced again by Night Stalker when you come down, or the Orchid, vice versa, then it could still be problematic for him. So, and we know that Empire right now, they're heavily relying on Yoku.
Dump him. There's the Echo Slam. Reliance, I think it's okay when you're able to have initiations like that, but Night Stalker, where's the Shackle control? He'll just TP himself out. The power shot damage will not be enough. And that was Neko Slam committal and Resolution. Gets himself back to base. The Orchid versus Orchid battle. But that's why you have TP scrolls. And now their revenge is sick. That's a Gem of True Sight being dropped.
My goodness. Mitch just took 600 damage from Wrath of Nature. I mean, that's an Ag's. Resolution has been completed, and here comes the split push. He's even scouting out at the top jungle, as you see here. He's just going through to see where potentially people can be, and this is just good Nature's Prophet play.
It's the way to play Prophet. Make them look behind themselves at all times. That's Nature's Prophet's ability. But NLG just try and get more aggressive. They're running towards the mid. Already Yoku blinked himself away. You get the Orchid on the Darkseer, so he cannot go for the big hit, but Gata, he'll do it instead. Getting the perfect on the way. Resolution will die in the tree lines. Yoku to follow directly after. And NLG, well, they can't push that tier 2 tower just yet. Kind of need the creep wave to come with it.
Well, so far the Blade hasn't really done much, but I mean, with the Aegis online for Meepo, this is looking like a really easy high ground potentially, because yeah, they have Aegis, why not? And he's off hunting too. Like, this is what Meepo excels at. Oh, he just uses Mantis out too.
He's creep skipping it. He's just trying to keep the wave back, but Excalibur's going to commit forward. And Animage needs to TP himself home. Able to do so, but he's still short. That's why he's selling items, so he can finish up this BKB of his and be ready to fight. The power shots will fly. Excalibur, that Meepo is very, very low, but they need to trigger this Meepo before. Okay, well, okay, the poof will come out. You get through the Aegis Immortal and then find the kill, but no fear. So far, for silence! He gets ripped apart! The attack from Queen of Pain's almost enough to finish the job. He drops down to 25 life. Resolution also TPing the front lines, but he's trapped in the corner between the worlds as well as the fissure wall. Shackle or no shackle, NLG just took the fire of their lives. Tie back over on the Nature's Prophet. And they take the mid melee racks. It's the dream right there. And they look like they're going to go for more.
Shackle. I don't know. It seems like they did a lot nice TPs back in from Excalibur. Where's his Blink Decker though? It's on the courier. Wait.
Why? It's on the courier.
Oh, there it is. There it is. No. It was on the courier. It was,
okay.
I think it was on one of his allies. Yeah, he traded the TP for the Blink Dagger.
Oh. He did that so he could regenerate everyone up to full.
It was a really good play.
And there goes your melee racks on bottom. Team Empire can't lose any more though, because this tier 1 tower still exists on the top lane. The only thing they can lose is their allies. But when NLG have great vision, because they got the Aghanim's ulti up from the Night Stalker, they can just run forward and start killing off Team Empire wherever they want to. The vision control will be there, but okay, Tuskar trapped in the tree line. There's no way out. He's going to snowball over towards the Meepo, and then they get instant control. Wrath of Nature or not, Shackles or not, Resolution's being chased down by 3 Meepos. It's a good Sonic Wave, silencing the cleave damage off, and the Echo Slam from Yoku, but there's not enough damage. You've got too much life over on Excalibur. He turns around, it's a double kill for him. This game is basically over. This Meepo is so big, and they've burnt through Team Empire multiple times over. The only thing which slows down this game is still that top lane.
Yeah, this is just reminiscent of me like watching a Tiny just basically wreck your buildings. Like Meepo just did that right now, and it was a really nice play all around coming in from Excalibur as well as the team there. So this is all, like you said, it should be over, but Empire still have really good split push potential as we talked about Nature's Prophet and Anti-Mage, so potentially they still can get back into this game. But when you're getting right-clicked down by a Meepo, you know the game is not looking good when your carry is just losing this man fight.
Yeah. Well, there's no way for him to survive. The Anti-Mage is still walking around with, at the end, like a Battle Fury, a Manta, and a BKB. For 31 minutes in, you kind of expect a little bit more out from an Anti-Mage. Well, he still did the greatest work he could do. He's the second highest net worth in the field, just behind that of the Meepo, which you kind of know you're never going to keep up with Anti-Mage or no Anti-Mage. But it still puts him in the same position where he's got 1400 life. That's not enough to survive up against the damage output of a level 25 Meepo. And there's your jump forward. Tries to break through the mana style, then triggers the BKB to break himself free a second time. And that's his 8-second BKB charge down the drain.
Yeah, he probably needed to wait a little bit on the Manta, just so that you have to know that the Meepo is always just going to double net immediately afterwards, and either you have to instantly blink out, which you normally don't have enough time, or you just wait, because that's kind of a wasted BKB, and it's very crucial to have it this game, but I don't know how crucial it's going to be when you're down 2 Raxes, though.
How long's the next Roshan? Roughly 45 seconds before he can spawn. NLG now actually getting a perfect item for this game now. Vladimir is offering over on Spartan. It's a little late in the game, 32 minutes, but it's that last little bit of an advantage during this fight, during this push, that Meepo will need to basically ensure that he wins the fight. Hands down.
Jim as well as the Nice Hawker and Eggs. Basically, they're gonna have free reign to look. They can even do they've done the whole game. It's just wait for Roche, put it on Meepo, and then we saw what happens if they don't really have a good fight. If they don't have Echo Slam up on Yoku, it seems like they get steamrolled in these team fights. But I don't know. We can just basically say what happened, what went wrong this game is giving the Meepo 2 Aegis to work with. Like the second one basically hurt them, and then them getting picked off in the middle.
Actually, they do have a team which can contest Roshan.
They do. They have Furion to scout. They also can push the lanes really easily, I think, because Earthshaker can do it, Windrunner. They have really good lane clear. So it should never be a real problem of scouting out. Power Shot, Sigil.
I think the first time, though, they knew about it. Because he just let it go. They went for the trade-off of towers and kills. So they pushed on the top, and then they pushed on the mid. The mid push, of course, didn't succeed properly, but they knew what they were getting themselves into.
It was very unfortunate too that he had the double damage rune the first time.
Yeah, which basically made it so quick that even if you did out it out, and you probably would want to fight into a double damage Meepo.
That sounds scary.
Yes, it is. I would have to wait almost the maximum time. It's just 30 seconds short of the maximum time.
Interesting to see he went for the Scotty next. So he's just valuing a lot of stats this game and kind of right-click. The reason why he went Ethblade is because it does give you that agility to all your other ones. And then you just saw the amount of right-click damage that was dealt onto the Anti-Mage. It was just insane. So think of it from that perspective, Excalibur's build is pretty amazing. Like, it's just giving you a lot of stats, a lot of armor, and a lot of damage.
Are they gonna come out? We got trees stranded in the middle of the field, created by
He used one.
Sorry?
He used one to scout out Roche, but Excalibur just killed it. So yeah, and like you said, he needs to send those babies over.
Docker's all. And so it's going to get initiated on, but there's a lot more support coming in behind. Aloha Dance is here. The trees allow breakout of smoke, so they realize that someone else is around the corner, and with a TP out from Resolution, they really want this Night Stalker dead, but the back wall, Mitch trying to go for the combination style, still being controlled, he's got the BKB to break free, but does not want to have to use it yet. Resolution's already taken out the Queen of Pain, and then will TP out to save to the Earthbind. He'll cancel the TP, Resolution has to stand and fight now. There's no other choice. He'll end up dying anyway by the Echo Slam from Yoku, but the life and just survivability of Excalibur is just way too high. You got the jump in from AM. He just falls over backwards. I think he just on a mine. That was all that was. He blew up. Empire have one player left, Aloha Dance, but this game, yeah.
I mean, when you Echo Slam a Meepo and it does nothing when there's 5 around to, that's just very unfortunate. And that was the last hurrah. They started off the team fight kind of well, but if you do not coordinate the chain stun perfectly, it seems like on this Meepo, you're not going to win the team fight.
Mm-hmm. Can't even do that, man. It doesn't. There's not enough AoE chain stuns for them to work with. Like, that's their problem.
I think they just won because of the poof sounds from the Meepo.
Yes, obviously audio is how you win games.
I also wanted to talk to you about the Meepo. Like, does it kind of look like he's glowing where he has like a double damage rune?
It's the backpack.
You know what I mean? It's kind of giving me OCD. It's like, does he have a DD rune?
No, it's just his backpack.
It's like IO. IO's invisible? I don't know.
IO doesn't exist, man. Okay,
Oh, what a void.
that Mana Void will do a little bit of work, but it's not enough. Like, NLG, like, they're still got Excalibur fighting on the front lines. You can Telegraph up. Nice Shackle. But your only mate just died back. Team Empire,
too.
the throne will die, and this will give us our GG.
I didn't think NLG could potentially do it, but I think this game we saw the power of getting an Aegis and just buffing up your Meepo, and this time it worked out where they put all the farm on Excalibur and it paid off where he constantly went around the map.